What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video. Proof on why India was the most scientifically advanced ancient civilization. I'm intrigued to hear this proof. Before we dive in, make sure you guys subscribe, ring notification bell, give the video a thumbs up. Let's do it.
Curiosity on TRS Clips.
There is something called Aitriya Brahmana. It's associated with the Rig Veda. And in Aitriya Brahmana, in the second chapter, there is a cryptic passage. That passage says, the sacrifice, yajna, had gone away from the Devatas. They did not know where it had gone to. So they went to Aditi, the mother of gods, and she said, can you help us? Can you help us find it? She said, sure, I'll help you, but I will choose a boon from you. They said, sure, go ahead. A
boon?
A boon.
Hold
A
up.
boon, yes. They said, sure, go ahead and ask for it. She said, all sacrifices will begin and end with me. Very cryptic set of passages which nobody understood. What on earth does it mean? What does it mean? Yajna has gone away. The Devatas were unable to perform any sacrifice. They were in total confusion. They gone to Aditi and begged her. Aditi saying, sure, I'll help you, but the sacrifices will begin and end with me. Tilak was the one who recognized this. He said, this is an astronomical phenomena encoded here showing the great anxiety of our ancestors because they pegged everything to the celestial calendar. They marked all festivals, yajnas, everything based on the celestial clock over there, right? If that celestial clock is out of whack, then I don't know what to do. We will discuss why it will go out of whack. But if it does, and it will, then you don't know when to perform your ceremony. Over a period of 1,000 years or so, your calendars are going to slip because of something called axial precession.
You mean the Earth's axis shifts?
Where the Earth's axis of rotation, right now we are in Mumbai, so it's around 15 degrees, around 15 degrees from the horizon. So it looks like Earth is rotating like this in Mumbai, right, around 15 degrees. So where it is pointing to is Polaris. That star appears to be immobile in the sky. Earth is rotating from west to east. Therefore, heavenly bodies are going east to west. That's what is happening. But where it is pointing to is slowly tracing a path in the sky. And this takes 26,000 years to complete. Okay? 26,000 years to
You mean
complete.
the Earth's...
Axis of rotation,
The Earth is wobbling.
it's wobbling.
Okay.
It's like the analogy I give is like a top. If you play to the top as a child, you tie the string around the top and you twirl it. The
Yeah.
top spins very, very fast. But as it is spinning, sometimes it's got a wobble, right? So Earth's fast spin is 24 hours. The slow wobble is 26,000 years. And it's doing this because of the gravitational impact of the sun, moon, and to a lesser extent, Jupiter. That is why Earth is wobbling like this at 26,000 years or so.
That's crazy to think about. Like the Earth, I love how he used an analogy of a spin top because that's an easy analogy for anybody to understand. I mean, we've all had a spin top, and after it gets done spinning fast, now you see this slowly starts to wobble before it comes to a stop. So we understand the wobble. I've never heard that Earth could like wobble, tilt on its axis like it. I always thought Earth was just on that axis and Earth was gonna stay on that axis forever and ever, and it was never could never be a wobble. I've never heard anything like this, so this is fascinating new information for me.
Jupiter. That is why Earth is wobbling like this at 26,000 years or so. Why is it important for us? Because we used sidereal astronomy. Sidereal meaning with respect to a nakshatra that is at a certain
What is
point.
the word nakshatra?
Nakshatra. Remember I said that Indians divided the sky, ecliptic, into 27 segments. And they identified a principal brightest star in each segment. They called each of that a nakshatra. So we can identify that with the stars today. For example, Kritika is Pleiades, and Rohini is Aldebaran, and Revati is Zeta Piscium. Like this, we know what these stars are based upon what Indians did in the past. So we had a perfect mapping of the skies based on these kind of things. These are called nakshatras. So I said that Earth is precessing 26,000 years. And I said, why is it important for us? Because we observed a phenomena based on what is a nakshatra at a cardinal point of astronomy. What are the cardinal points of astronomy? You've got the two solstices, winter solstice, summer solstice.
What does the word cardinal point mean?
These are the cardinal means principal point. Principal point, when the sun goes to the southernmost point, that is a principal point. It
Okay.
goes to the northernmost point, that's a principal point.
Gotcha.
Okay.
In between, it is going crossing the line, the celestial equator, and that is the equinox position. So these 4 points, that point, this point, crossing the equinox here, when you're returning crossing, these are the 4 cardinal points. So
Okay.
Indians always observed what was the nakshatra at a cardinal point. For example, vernal equinox has always been New Year in India. Vernal equinox, New Year point. So they'll tell you what was the nakshatra at vernal equinox point. For example, a whole lot of our literature says Kritika nakshatra was at the vernal equinox point. That is no longer true today. Today it's not Kritika anymore. So Kritika was the vernal equinox in 2400 BCE.
So I will say in this video, I feel like there's a lot of words that like I'm not understanding. So like if y'all can help me out in the comment section, that'd be dope. Another question that I have is when Earth, after 26 years, 26,000 years, Earth wobbles a bit, does it then sustain a different axis that it's spinning on for another 26,000 years? It wobbles a bit more, or I mean, I don't know if he's gonna answer it in this next 3 minutes, but if not, I'm gonna need y'all help in the comment section for this one.
So Kritika was the vernal equinox in 2400 BCE. We know that today because of our planetarium software and things like that. We can date these things. So anyway, what I'm saying is that this whole phenomena is because of precession, that the calendar shifts. When the calendar shifted, the gods were unable to perform any yajna or any such thing. They've gone to Aditi and said, help us. Aditi said, all sacrifices will begin and end with me. Meaning, vernal equinox will begin and end with me. This is what Aditi was saying. So we are now got to see when was the equinox, vernal equinox, at Aditi. And what is Aditi in our nakshatra model? In our nakshatra model, we have a nakshatra called Punarvashu. Punarvashu has got 2 stars in it, Diti and Aditi. In the Greek tradition, we call it Castor and Pollux, right?
Wow.
Castor and Pollux are Diti and Aditi, and collectively we call them Punarvashu Nakshatra. If I want to find out when was Punarvashu Nakshatra at the vernal equinox point, hold your breath. I need to crank back in the astronomy software, planetarium software, to a staggering 6000 BCE. That is 8,000 years ago, was when our ancestors were thoroughly messed up in the skies, not knowing when do I do my calendar, implying that they had a calendar 1,000 years prior to that was working, because precession works in a few thousand years is when it gets messed up. So it's got messed up to a point where they reset it to Punarvashu or Aditi. That is what it's telling us.
What is the 26,000 year
Cycle.
timeline then?
So this 26,000 years, like I said, this is the amount of time it takes for the axis of rotation of the Earth to trace this path in the sky and come back. Today we are pointing at a star called Polaris. At the other extreme is a star called Abhijit or Vega. Vega is a Greek name, Abhijit is the Indian name. It will reach Abhijit in about 15,000 years from now, 14,000 years from now. Then again come back. So that's the extent to which axis of rotation takes place. And because of that, the nakshatras which our ancestors observed, they keep changing over time. This is why I'm saying Indian astronomy is beautiful, because we have got so many astronomical phenomena in our texts which clearly are not relevant today. And we can use planetarium software and we can try to find out precisely when was something. So here you are, a date like 8,000 years ago, Indians already had a notion of a calendar, already had notions of doing these kind of measurements. I find that utterly fascinating.
So if you enjoy this video, subscribe to
I do find that truly fascinating that 8,000 years ago, India had these metrics, had a calendar, understood, I guess, time periods and everything. I will say, more so in this video, I had a little bit more trouble understanding exactly what he means. I feel like I need to study astronomy more, and then India astronomy on top of that. Some of the terms he were using was I didn't pick up on, and then I guess I just don't truly know what he meant in this video when he said all sacrifices begin and end with me, and he was talking about a time period, but I'm not sure how it all coincides with each other. So this is one I'm gonna ask you guys, please help. If anybody can put it into kind of a simpler term for me, it'd be awesome if you guys could help me out in the comment section. Understood some of it, but there was a lot of it that just I think kind of went over my head. That's all we have for this one. If you enjoyed that one, check out this reaction video. Thank you, like it just as much. It's your boy Neal, out.